let's talk about Clerks. Now, I had never seen a single Kevin Smith movie before this, and obviously this one's a great one to start with. Well, because it's Clerks, his first one. And when I watched it, don't get me wrong, I enjoyed this movie. I didn't get it at first, and this is because a few reasons. First of all, I didn't grow up in the '90s when this movie came out. I was born the year 2003, so that's my perspective on this. Like, oh, this is a little bit weird. So I didn't really understand why this is in black and white, any of that kind of stuff. And I had a few assumptions why it was black and white, but I don't know. It just was like, oh. But then I learned about the story with this movie, which is basically that Kevin Smith made this movie for a few $1,000s, sold it to Miramax, was a big hit, blah blah blah, and inspired a lot of people to pursue filmmaking. And I think what it did is it made me have to sit with it for 2 days to get it. Like, not to say I didn't like. There was no dislike for this film first viewing, but there was a little bit of, oh, that's all this film was. That's all this film is. That this film that I've heard so many people claim that they love, and it's one of their favorite movies, and it's such a great movie. You know, it's really just some stupid guy working at a convenience store while funny shit happens that's entertaining and fun to watch, but like, that's it? That's it? That kind of feeling. So there's that feeling watching this movie. But I think if you set yourself in Kevin Smith's shoes, right? You're this guy, you're unknown. Obviously, we know him as a big celebrity now, filmmaker, director, podcast, YouTuber, that type of thing, right? Celebrity. We know all that stuff. But you're a guy who's come out of nowhere. You get the script, you make this movie, and it's a big hit, and it's just interesting from a filmmaking point of view. And I think that's where this film works even now, is that you need to just watch this film and set yourself in Kevin Smith's shoes, and it'll make you have appreciation for film as a whole, where you're like, this guy was able to do this and make this really work, and it be funny and really entertaining. It is really funny, when this guy is in the shop bothering customers over how smoking's gonna damage their lungs and shit, and then you find out the only reason that he's there is to like sell more gum by making people think that smoking is bad, which you could argue it is or whatever, but that's not what I'm here to get into. I'm just saying, like, that's what it is. That's really funny. Or the first appearance of Jay and Silent Bob, which was funny in this movie, or just other little things. It was just a really funny movie, and it was entertaining. It related to the convenience store aspect. I think some people might be bothered by the film being black and white because there really isn't a point to it besides it was just, it had no money, and so it was black and white. I don't think that bothered me because the way the film is framed, it feels very much like what you're watching is all of what's being recorded on the security cameras in this convenience store, even though that's clearly not what's happening in the movie. But it adds to the feel of this being a shitty convenience store. And I think I really like that. So, yeah, I really like this movie. I think it's a great movie. It's a little bit harder to get into when you show it to modern audiences. I think the best way to do that is just to explain the story, show it to them, and let it sit with them. And then if it sits with them, I think they'll understand and grow an appreciation for it. But it's a good movie.